Cooling liniment is also called Dietdachau or hit fall wine. It's also called trauma liniment. It's the most versatile of all the external applications that we commonly use in clinic or at home. Almost every Chinese household, almost every martial arts school has some kind of trauma liniment, some kind of cooling liniment, or some variation on it. This can be used on just about every type of injury, whether the injury is new or old, because it's mildly cooling, it's not warming, it's very gentle in nature. It moderately increases the blood flow, it reduces swelling, and it also has herbs that reduce pain. If you have an area that feels better with pressure, that feels better with massage, you can apply the cooling liniment to that area, and you can rub and massage deeply, as long as you're not exacerbating the pain, in order to get it to penetrate down into the joint or into the soft tissues that are injured. If you have just sprained your thumb or injured your thumb, you're probably not going to be able to press that deeply. If there's acute swelling and inflammation and acute pain, it's going to be difficult for you to press so deeply. So just press moderately, or you can rub just on the surface of the skin and let the liniment absorb. And you can do this for about 5 to 10 minutes, reapplying as it starts to absorb down through the skin. You should feel the pain starting to decrease a little bit a few minutes in, which is how you know you're on the right track. Cooling liniment was originally created for injuries to the hand. So it's especially good for any kind of small joint injury, anything in the wrist, the knuckles, the fingers. It's really, really, really good for that. And I strongly recommend, being the ends of the meridians, that if you have any kind of finger or toe injury, that you apply cooling liniment or something similar so that you can help it heal. If you had significant swelling in the area, if it's really, really warm and really swollen and so painful that you have, half of your mobility or less, you can use a piece of gauze, or you can use paper towel, or whatever you have that's absorbent, and you can create a poultice. This is especially effective for the wrist, the hand, and the fingers. So let's say this is the joint that's injured. And then you saturate the cloth with the cooling liniment. Like most external herbal apps that we use, this will stain whatever it touches. So that's good and wet. The best thing for you to cover that with so that it will behave is a leaf, like a cabbage leaf or a kale leaf or something of that nature. But if you don't have anything, like that, you can use a piece of saran wrap. And if you don't have any saran wrap, you can just use paper towels, and that'll suffice. So you then cover the area to help it all behave, and then wrap it with rolled gauze or with an ace bandage. You don't need to compress the area with the wrap. You don't need to squeeze it. You just need to cover it a little bit so that it will behave. If you use paper towel or something absorbent, as you can see from the color, the liniment is starting to be absorbed through the cover. So that's a lot less liniment that's going into the injury. If you use a piece of kale, or if you use a cabbage leaf or some kind of leaf like that, it won't absorb the liquid and it'll let air pass through a little bit. If you use plastic or saran wrap, it'll keep the liniment on the skin, but it'll hyperhydrate the skin so it'll look like a swollen prune by the morning time. But it's okay if it looks that way. It's not going to harm you, but it looks really strange. So leave this on overnight. Most people can't go to work with something like this. So you just leave it on overnight for 2-3 days. And I've seen this application with trauma liniment significantly reduce swelling after sprains by up to 50%.